Oh, hey everybody. So I got a new issue with my car. Pretty excited. This is a Honda Odyssey 2004. Here's the problem. So, yeah, good pajama pants right there. So when this is driver's side obviously, my door lock, you can see it no longer works. I can, press this up and down. That works just fine. But when I actually go to do the power lock, all the other locks work. You can hear them, but not my driver's door. So I've been looking on Audi Club, I've been looking on YouTube, I've been looking at a bunch of videos. They said it could be an actuator, which I have to like pull off this panel and check out the actuator, but a lot of people have been reporting on Audi Club that doesn't work. They say what does work is, and I'm actually gonna do some soldering and stuff, which we'll show later in the video, but they say it's the multiplexer, something like that, which, yeah, Mario stuff. I'm not sure, I gotta read some more, but I think it's right in there. It's this fuse box. So I think I gotta pull that off, remove the fuse box, and then there's an electric board, an electronics board that I'm going to need to solder a jump wire on. So I'm excited. Have no idea what I'm doing, but hopefully this works. And if it does work, hopefully it'll help you guys out figure this, how to figure this out as well. So first thing we'll do is we'll get into there. I got to move all this crap, but then I got to pull off that part right there, and I think get to the fuse box, and I got to remove the fuse box, and then I think the multiplexer that I need to get to is in between there. So we'll do that. See ya. Alright, so first thing I guess I got to do is unhook the battery. So this is probably pretty obvious, but we got the hood latch there. Boom. Over here, there's going to be a little latch that you can fill underneath the car. Just press it up. Okay. Then got the little hood holder. It was right there. Pull it up. Boom, in there. So now I'm just going to unscrew those screws there and pop off the leads, so I will unhook the battery. Another thing you need to pay attention to is the radios in these cars. They have lock codes, so when you unhook the battery and you hook the battery back up, your radio will be locked. So you got to make sure you get that unlock code. The way I got mine is I just went on Google. I googled like Honda Odyssey unlock code, radio unlock code, something like that. It took me to a website. I put in my VIN number. So you can get your VIN number right here. Okay, so you can just grab that, put it into the website, and then it gives you the unlock code. So anyways, I'm gonna unhook the battery and we'll be back. Okay, those of you that cared, I used a 10mm socket to get that off. So here we go, 10mm, and yummy, yummy, yummy. So I unhooked both. Now gonna head over to the passenger side. And I have to do that, I guess. That was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. It just kind of popped off. So again, I'm just kind of monkeying around in here. The part I need to pull is right there. This part. The little white box. So there's a couple bolts, I'm guessing, yep, right there. And then I think there's another one in there somewhere that I need to pull, need to take out. And so once those bolts are out, I'll be able to kind of pull this out that way, and then this pops out. that way. So I'm gonna work around with that and then I will be back. See ya. Okay, so I just kind of ripped this whole thing off. It goes on like this. Okay, kind of goes on like that. There's a little thing right there that went in. So that went in right there. And I think it hooks up to that little square area right there, and that goes on it. So yeah, I just kind of pulled that off because I want to see everything in here. So again, we're using a 10mm, and we're gonna take off that bolt right there. All right, so I got the bolt out. There it is. It was right there. Now this next one is way back, and I don't know if I can film it. There it is, right there. You can see it. There we go. There it is. It's way back there, so I'm gonna have to get an extension for. There it is. You can see it in the upper right hand corner. So it's way back there on the top. So that obviously isn't gonna work. So I need to get an extension, and I will get that out. Just show here how I got it. So this is what it looks like. There's the extension going back there. So it's about as far as it could go. You can see it going back there. I got onto the bolt and I'm just unscrewing it right now. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Hopefully we'll get it out in a couple seconds here. All right, so I got both bolts removed. One on the bottom, one on the top. Now this thing is a beast. Like, it's not really coming, but you can see right underneath there's a little connector running into this metal thing. So looks like I can remove it. So I'm just going to take that bolt out and move this, so hopefully I can push this out more, because this is what we're trying to get to, and that needs to get popped out that way. So we need to get this out a little bit more so I can actually pull this out. So I guess, I mean, you could try to unplug that. I don't really know how, pliers or something, but I just think it'd be a lot better just to get that out of the way. So I'm going to take that bolt out right there, and you're going to need to have a deep socket where it can actually go in all the way, because you can see that the bolt is way far at the back, so you got to have enough room for that bolt to go inside of your socket. So I'm going to put that on and pull off the bolt and hopefully get this out of the way. Okay, so far so good. So this was the part, this was plugged into that. This thing, I thought I would just loosen it up a little bit, but I ended up taking the whole thing off because I'm kind of freaked out now, to be honest. You can see that I started chopping the crap out of it with this as it was rubbing up. So I recommend just pulling this whole thing off, to be honest. Made it a lot easier. And it wasn't that hard. I just used one of these. I can't remember what these are called, but you use them to remove clips, kind of like that. So there's a little tab right here. You got to push that, and then you just pull down. And I just use that to kind of grip it. I pushed that little tab, and then I just pulled down, and it came out pretty easily. So that's where I'm at right now. It's coming out a little bit more, but it's still hard to move. So I might just end up unhooking everything. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure it out. We'll see. Okay, not gonna lie, this has been a pain in the butt. So what I've done is probably destroyed everything, but I took out all the ones. It's not even going back in now. But I took out all these. I couldn't get that one out. That one just was a beast. So I used this tool again, and I just grabbed onto them and pulled them out. And that seems to have given me enough, leeway so I can kind of move this around. So what I'm seeing now is, if you look underneath, there's tabs here and there, and then there's a couple tabs on the top as well, where you basically See under there? Probably not. Yeah, I basically have to kind of lift this up. You can see that it's there. I gotta lift that up and pull out. So I gotta lift these two tabs, one there, and then pull out the bottom, and then do the same on the top. You can see the tab there too. So fun. So that's what I gotta do now, is kind of pull those tabs up and then pull it out. Yeah, this is great. Alright, so what I did is I took this and I kind of put it in there and I lift. You can see that it's starting to go. But anyways, I put that underneath and then I just pulled a little bit on the bottom. I just pulled there. And then once I got that out, I did the same thing. Put the tool under there and just kind of pulled a little bit. So now I got that side. So now I just need to do the top here. So fun. Okay, I can't wait to see what I've broken, but holy crap, that was the biggest pain in the butt in the world. So I don't even know. So it goes in like that. You can see that's where it plugs in. So it's up in there like that. I just was monkeying around with it, and you can see that I like broke that there. I like put my screwdriver up in here and I was prying it out. And to be honest, what ended up happening is I broke this open. So it was sitting there like that. So I busted the bottom off. So it was sitting up there like that. Because with all the prying, because you know this comes apart a lot more easier than this coming out of there. So I ended up breaking this off. And it was up there like that. So once, I don't know, that's why I'm thinking I probably broke something. So when it was up there and there like that, I was able to just take the screwdriver right here and I just kind of pried it out and then it came out. So yeah, so I got it out finally. Holy crap, that was horrible. I would recommend, if possible, removing everything, just getting the whole thing out. That was the biggest pain in the butt in the world. So now I'm gonna go freaking solder this. So that'll be the next thing. But I'm telling you, man, that was ridiculous. But at least you can kind of see what it looks like and how it fits in there. Nothing, well, say like nothing looks bent. I hope not. We'll see. So, soldering up next. Woohoo. Okay, so here it is. If you weren't a loser like me, it would be in here. And you can see that there's little tabs. So you would just push in the tabs. You can see I totally broke that one. So, yeah. Luckily, that probably won't break anything. We hope. So, anyways, this is what it looks like. I can't really tell if anything's been burned or anything. I mean, I don't know. Everything looks okay to me. So, anyways. So you take it out. Here it is. This is what it looks like. This is the bottom. This is where I had to unplug that thing. Now, what do you need to do? Wait for this to focus. Okay, what you need to do is solder this one right here, D18, to this unnamed one. This is C50, C51. You got to find C50, solder that, the little pokey out one, the pokey out joint, or whatever you want to call it. This little point, you solder that to D18. So another test that you can do is I got this multimeter here, and you can set it to this little one right here. This is a continuity test, so I'm going to do that real quick. All this does, so you can see my setup here, I got the red one plugged into the 10A DC, I got the black one plugged into the volts. All this does is just test to see if electricity can flow through 2 points. So if I were to touch the 2 leads together, I'll try to do this one-handed. My dexterity is amazing. So when I put these 2 together, you can hear a beep. So that's telling me that electricity can flow through those and that it completes a circuit. So I'm going to use this little wire, and if you're wondering where I got that, actually what I did is I ransacked my kid's electronic little set thing. He had this little motor where it shot up a fan. I just cut this wire a little short and I stole this. I actually bought this off eBay too. These jumper wires, or whatever they're called, $3. Well, but they're too dang long, way too long. This is about the size you need for it to work. And when I cut these open, they had really thin copper wires in there, so I didn't really know what to do after that. So this is what I'm going to use here. And all I did, probably overkill, but I used 10 snips. I cut it to the size, and then I just barely clamped a little bit and just went around so I could pull off the rubber section so I could get the metal part. Alright, so what I also want to do is check the continuity of this actual jumper wire cable thing. Okay, I can't really do this, so I'm going to set this down. Okay, so I'm going to check, I don't know if you can see it or not, I'm going to check the continuity of the wires too, just to make sure it'll work. Okay, cool, so electricity can flow through here. Another thing, you can't really see it either, but I want to check the continuity of D18 to the one next to C50, because I want to see if maybe that was actually the problem. So I'm going to put one of the leads on D18 and then the other one, see there's no beeping. So that circuit has died, so that's probably the issue. So that's good. That means when I solder on this wire here, it will then complete the circuit and then hopefully fix the problem. I hope so, because this has been a pain. So I got my little soldering kit I got off of eBay for about $8. You can see all the Chinese, Japan stuff. I hope this will work. But it came with flux, which I don't really think I'm going to need. Then there's my solder right here. And then I got a little sucking up solder gun thing, which I don't really need either. But it's a 60 water, which might be a little too much. I don't know. But anyway, so I'll get going on the soldering here in a minute. Okay, so what I've done, as you can see, is I've already put it down in the spot that it needs to go. So all I'm going to have to do is just put the solder on there. So you can see that I've already have it wrapped around the parts that need to be joined together. So then all I'm going to need to do is take this, plug this in, get it really hot, do what's called tin the tip, get it solder onto the tip, and then basically just put the gun down first and then put the solder on it to melt the solder over the joints and to hopefully join them together. And then just do the same thing here. Just put the soldering gun, let it warm up for a couple seconds, and put the solder on there, let it melt over it, and then just let it go. Sit there and let it dry for, I don't know how long. I'll probably wait a good 10, 15, 20 minutes or something. So that's what I'm going to do. See ya. Okay, solder gun got heated up. I put the solder on there. There it is. Those of you that are professional solderers, you can laugh at me right now. But I got the continuity set up again, just to make sure I didn't hose this. This is probably going to look weird when I'm trying to do it. Success. So it beeps, there's continuity in between those two, so I hope that's all I had to do. So now I have the fun task of putting it all back together. Also, I don't know if that's normal, but my soldering gun just totally got burned up. Of course, it was an $8 one off eBay, and it was smoking big time there, so I have no idea. It worked, but man, yeah, that was a little nuts. So anyway, so now I'm gonna you know, put this back together here, put that back on there, and then I will go and put it back in the car. And we'll talk to you in a minute. Alright, back in the torture chamber. Here we go. Here it is. Yeah, I broke some of those, you know, but I just don't think I care, because this isn't going to be coming out once I put it back in. So I just have that, and I just need to put that back in there. It's kind of crazy how easy that part's going to be compared to try to get it out. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is just put it back in there. Okay, so I got it back in. Now I just need to be careful how I do this. So I got to take that and I got to put that buck up, but I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to just kind of try to push this back into its spot. Once it's there, I'm going to plug these in, plug all those back into where they need to go, and then I'll also plug this one in the bottom right under there, and then once all that's plugged in, then I'll put this back on. So I'll plug everything in and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I got everything plugged back in. Now I'm worried because I don't remember if there was anything in there. And I don't remember if there was anything in there. That looks really dirty and gross, so probably not. But I can't find any other connectors, so I hope I'm good. I put this back on there. So the first thing I'm going to do is put that one back, put the screw back there on that bolt. So we'll do that right now. If you're finding it hard to get that bolt back on, you know, right on there, I just took my deep socket here and I just put the bolt on there, and then I'm just going to stick it on that way and just start turning. So something to try if it's hard for you. Okay, bolt's back on, tight. So now all I got to do is just kind of line this up with that hole, screw that bolt in, one of those. And then the fun part's going to be doing the bolt that we did back there. So yeah, I'm going to do those two bolts right now. I'm going to do the easy one first. Okay, got the bolt in, so now I got to do the one up there. I think what I'm going to do is take this and put it on my extender. Okay, so we got that on my extender, and then I'm just gonna put the bolt in there. I mean, I don't know, that's really the only way you can do it. Just take it like this, and I'm just gonna try to eye it as well as I can and just push it up there, and then just start screwing it in. Do it a little bit by hand, and then once it's good, I'll finish it off with the ratchet. Hopefully it'll work. See ya. Alright, I've been struggling with this last bolt for a freaking long time right now. So I think what I'm going to do, which is going to work, I hope, I don't know, is I have the extension on the bolt, and then if you can see, there's this little gap right there. And see, you can see there's the I don't know if you're going to be able to see into. Okay, so there it is. And then if you look, you'll be able to see the hole back there if you shine a light in there, which I'm trying to do right now. But so anyways, from this little gap, you can line up the screw into the hole and then hopefully be able to start screwing it in from there. So that's the best thing I've found so far. And it's still not working very well. So trying to do it. Alright, I just spent way too long. Alright, you see back there, there's one. Like there's two different holes, right? You got one there and then you have one back there. I just put the screw in the hole closest to me, and I think that was a big no-no. So put the screw in the one further away. There seemed to be two different holes back there. I just sat there and I tried to screw it in for like 10 years and it never worked. So I'm going to try the one that's further away from me and see if that works any better. Okay, got it. You can see I kind of looked through there and I got it. But yeah, the issue was I was going through that hole that was closer to me. Once I put it in the one back, yeah, you're not gonna be able to see, but once I did the hole that was further away from me, that was the right one, and then it got in pretty easy. So just gonna keep doing that. Once I get it tight, all I gotta do is throw that shield back on there and put that thing right there, and then I will give it a shot and we'll see what happens. Alright, so I'm about to put this back on. There's this little clip here that just needs to go underneath. Same with right there. And of course you want to make sure that that is still accessible by yeah, looks good to me. And then put that thing up there. After that, plug in the battery and we'll be on our way. Alright, so it's back on, and now all I gotta do is plug the battery back in. Whew. So this shouldn't be too hard. That goes on there, that goes on there. Tighten them up with the 10mm as well, and then I'll try it. Alright, battery's hooked back in. It is the moment of truth. So I'm going to shut this. Okay, now remember, you got to have your radio code, or you're not going to have radio since you unhooked the thing. Unhooked the radio. So I'll put the keys in here. Now you see when I turn it on, it asks for a code. Luckily I know mine. So what you do is, if it say it's like 23145 or something, you would do that down here. So 23415. So you just type whatever the code is right there. Okay, so if we did this right, we should see some magic. Oh yeah, look at that. Now okay, yeah, I may have just died. It was working. It's not, well, yeah, that was strong enough. So it wasn't moving really strong, but I mean, it's doing it. So let's try the fob here. Yeah, isn't that interesting? It's still not working as good as I would like. Isn't that a bummer? Well, it's kind of working. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Alright, so as we can see, it kind of works, but it's not perfect. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it worked that one time, but not before. So, I don't know. Maybe I got to do an actuator or something. I'm going to do some more researching. I did read that sometimes your actuator can be bad, and it sends too much current to the complexer or whatever I just freaking soldered. And sometimes you got to change the actuator, and then you got to go back and fix the complexer. So that may be what I'm going to have to do. But how annoying. All of that for nothing. Yeah, I'm hitting the unlock button and it's just doing some weird crap right now. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I'll make another video. It won't be in this one. See ya.